Right, guys, I got to deal with the lunacy that was announced by the government yesterday. As many will know, Boris, flanked by Whitty and Valance, decided to put us on notice that he might bring back in mandatory face masks, working from home, and full-on lockdowns if the numbers go up and the usual bullshit. This was obviously a bit of softening up for when they bring it all in soon enough, no doubt. Of course, the old medical papers, please, is being held in reserve also, as I spoke about the other day, but what's more important to me is calling out the government's winter plan in general. Like I said, it involves working from home orders, possibly another lockdown alongside a bit of Europe's 1940s papers, please lifestyle, you know, in 2021 when we all should be free. Now, as per usual, none of it actually makes sense, and this article is just a mouthpiece of the government's bullshit if you ask me. They literally go on about people staying at home, taking their own steps to protect themselves from perceived threats, which to me is evidence that lockdowns were never needed as people make decisions based on risk daily, so would have done the same last year and throughout this one. Of course, as it stands, many people are taking these steps because of 24-hour fear porn that's been belt-fed to them over the past 540 days of 21 days to flatten the curve in the country. But I guess it still does show that people will take their own efforts and make their own choices in order to take care of themselves. Now, what I really want to focus on is this guy's going from quoting Whitty and Valance or medical data to anecdotal claims about some prat on Twitter who went to France, which, let's be honest, doesn't matter in the slightest. As many will know, one lefty fuckpig on Twitter wetting the bed because people are not in face nappies or because you enjoy the current papers please France the Nazis implemented in the 1940s for some reason doesn't make the slightest bit of difference to us. He actually quoted in this article, "When in France, I was far more social and spent more money out and about because I felt safer to do so thanks to masking indoors and vax passes." So by one British tourist, he means one bedwetting tosspot wanting measures put in place that are political bullshit, as we all know. Now, on top of that, during the press conference that I mentioned earlier, Whitty and Valance justified the need for more restrictions or future ones coming in by saying they might need to come back to protect the NHS. Yes, you actually heard that right. After a year of us staying home to protect the NHS, it might need us to do it again to protect it from the damage us staying at home to protect it did last year. What a complete and utter clusterfuck of mental gymnastics that whole situation there is. And it's actually proven here when you look at the figures that the article includes. Up to 14 million people could be on NHS waiting lists by next autumn according to analysis from the Institute for Fiscal Studies. Nearly 5.5 million people are currently waiting for routine operations and procedures in England. This is up from 4.4 million in February 2020. The waiting list is increasing by an estimated 150,000 people every month, which fuck me is not a small number. It says more than 385,000 patients have been waiting for over a year for surgeries, including hip and knee replacements. Before the pandemic, the figure was only 1,600. And finally, ambulances across England answered more than 1 million calls in July, and waiting times were the longest since a new method of logging calls was introduced in 2017. That shows that suggesting anything we have done before now to save the NHS is just batshit crazy. In fact, it's grade A mental gymnastics that should be front page news for how ridiculously stupid it is. Because as they say, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again while expecting different results. I mean, let's be honest, we all mock Diane Abbott for the stupid shit that she comes out with, but fuck me, I would say this even trumps her top moments. It must be fucking close at least.